Good morning. It is Thursday, March 26th. It is episode 9 of Fierce Live Connection. And good morning. It's a sunny day again here in New York, so I'm very excited about that. Thinking I'm changing the format starting next week to no longer being live. I think I might record these and then just post them every day. Um, and it's only because I feel like so far I haven't gotten very many people engaged, and maybe that'll change. Like if people are interested in having me live to connect with, which was the original intention, then I will go back to this format. But I think starting next week, instead of doing anything with YouTube Live or Zoom, I'm just going to record these and then post them to YouTube and then put that link on Facebook, Twitter, and my website for people to look at whenever they want. But if I get any feedback between now and Monday that people plan on participating in this, then I'll look at that and or revise it going forward. Okay, so today we're going to focus on sleep, but first I want to do the meditation. So this is a meditation on if you've ever had a change in your life, and I think most of us are now having a change forced on us. So this, I think, is a good meditation for that. So I'm going to put this over here to look at this exciting photo. And if you hear banging, it is either my upstairs neighbors who seem to be very loud, or my daughter who insists on banging on her wall after she hears our neighbors. Okay. So I'm going to put my video on hold and start the meditation. Okay, begin by getting comfortable. And if you're sitting upright, just bring the top of your head toward the sky and your chin parallel to the floor, and your feet either crossed or grounded on the floor. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax the muscles in your face. Release your belly. Release any tension or tightness that you may be holding on to in your body. You can do this meditation with your eyes closed or softly open, focusing just on one fixed spot in front of you. Relax your tongue and your mouth. And you might even smile gently, signaling to your body that it's okay to relax. Relax your hands and feel yourself settle into the chair or cushion that you're sitting on. And feel connected with the earth. Find the place where you're feeling your breath most. So that could either be in your nostrils, the tips of your nostrils, your chest, or your belly. And as you inhale, try to direct the energy of the inhale to any place in your body you might be feeling tension. And as you exhale, try to imagine that tension softening and melting slightly. And just do that a couple of times on your own. Inhale and feel the energy of the breath focused on any tension in your body. And as you exhale, feel that you could actually feel or see the tension being taken away from your body. Remember to relax. Remember to breathe. And now bring to mind one major change in your life. And I realize there may be more than one, but choose one that's taking up the most mental space. And as you recognize this change, see what feelings arise as a response. Are you feeling grief, sadness, loss, fear? These are feelings that are associated with ending, and they're usually at the beginning of a transition. And as we enter the middle of a transition, those feelings widen. And they may be mixed with feelings of excitement, possibility, new beginnings, which are all positive feelings that we often feel toward the end of a transition. You may be feeling a combination of these negative and positive feelings. There's no need to change the way you're feeling. There's no need to feel stuck in any of the labels or words that come to your mind. Just notice what the feelings are as you focus on the change itself. And just be open to what you're experiencing. Breathe in and out. Taking note of any feelings at all. Open up to them. Invite them in. Allow them to stay, whether they're painful, pleasant, exciting, or scary. Welcome them. Just allow them to be what they are. And if you lose focus or get lost in thought, just return to this question. When I think of this change, how am I feeling? And then drop into your body. Where do you feel this change physically in your body? As these feelings come and go, come back to your breath. Come back to this moment. Just this moment. Just this breath. Just this feeling. Over and over. There's no judgment. There's no effort. You're just allowing these feelings to be. As we as we pre- as we prepare to close, bring your hand to your heart and just feel your heartbeat. Feel the warmth. Feel your breath. And make a promise to yourself that whatever you're feeling in your body or your mind, you will hold it with care and patience. Even if you're not sure that you can do this, even if you're not sure what it means to hold this feeling with care and patience, I invite you to just make the promise to try and be with whatever arises during this period of change. To be with things in your heart, knowing that they are changing too. And it won't be this way forever. Bring compassion to your own experience in this moment. Okay. All right. And now I'm just going to invite you to come back when you're ready. I liked that meditation. I did that one myself this morning. So what I'm thankful for today are people who show gratitude. One of my clients sent me this lovely pillow of a fox that I love. And I thought it was appropriate to receive this gift and this incredibly generous gift from this incredibly fabulous client on the day that I was planning to talk about sleep, because it's a pillow. So that's cool. I want to talk briefly about 5 ways that you can improve sleep. But before I do that, I invite you to think of what you're thankful for today. Could be anything at all. Just think about it to yourself. Okay, now these 5 ways to improve sleep, of course, include meditation. So when we meditate, it lowers the brain's electromagnetic energy, and that is great for just relieving stress. And if we can relieve stress in any way during the day, it helps us sleep, because the less anxious and stressed we are, by the end of the day, the less interrupted our sleep will be by these thoughts. Another way to improve sleep is to make sure you have a sleep routine. So I recommend that you go to bed at the same time every night, that you cut yourself off from screens at least 30 minutes before you go to bed. And that could include or be helped by reading in bed or writing in bed, as long as you're not reading or writing from a screen. And in conjunction with that, as I mentioned, is to keep a schedule. So go to sleep at the same time and try to wake up at the same time. Now, that might be easier to do now that we're pretty much all, I think a lot of us in the entire world are not able to go anywhere physically. So we might be able to get on a stricter schedule with ourselves as far as when we go to sleep and when we wake up on a regular basis. Because maybe we don't have to wake up as early as we were waking up to physically go somewhere. And then we can just carry that routine into the weekend. Um, Make sure you're comfortable in bed. So whatever you have to do to make sure your body is comfortable, which may include making sure the temperature of your room is cool enough. Being warm while you're trying to sleep is not a good idea. And understand what interrupts your sleep. So if you're noticing that you're not able to get a full night's sleep and you notice that one of the reasons is because you're getting up to use the restroom, then you're probably consuming liquids too close to when you're going to bed. So just keep a diary of when you're having a good night's sleep, what the habits were before that, and vice versa. So if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to use the restroom, just note when was the last time you consumed liquid that before you went to sleep that night. If you watch television right up until the time you went to bed and are finding it difficult to fall asleep, just jot that down. So just make a brief list of the last time I looked at television, the last time I ate something, what you ate, because often if we're eating something with carbs or sugar, that'll make it more difficult for our brains to calm down and fall asleep. Liquids you consumed. There are meditations that can be done while you're trying to fall asleep that I highly recommend. I might record, especially if I'm going to go to this new format, I might record some of those that you can listen to right before you go to bed. I also shared with a few clients a method I learned, I believe, on a podcast on Ali Ward's Ologies podcast of if you're trying to fall asleep, it's the thing you want to do is not think about that you want to fall asleep. So one of the things you can do while you're still in bed is make a list of categories in alphabetical order. So for instance, think of fruits that start with A, that start with B, that start with C, that start with D. And I rarely can, while I'm doing this list, get past E. And I'm sure there are some categories that might not easily have a answer to one of the letters of the alphabet, but it's fun just thinking about it. So with that, I want to keep with what we were doing as far as the quizzes, and I found a quiz on WebMD that I would like to, I'm just going to scoot myself over here so I can read this list. Okay, so true or false? If you wake up during the night and can't go back to sleep, you probably don't need that much shut-eye. True or false? And there are 10 questions. True, and I got 100 on this quiz. That's why I'm not taking it again. True or false? A couple of glasses of wine will help you sleep better. Question 3. Antidepressants can keep you awake. True or false? Question 4. What should you do if you're tossing and turning? Should you A, turn on the TV, B, stay in bed and try to sleep, C, go into another room and read? 5. What does sleep hygiene refer to? A, bathing or showering before bed, B, habits that can make you sleep better, C, clean sheets and bed linens. Question 6. Snoring or snorting while sleeping may be a sign of A, narcolepsy, B, sleep apnea, or C, restless leg syndrome. A sleep diary can help you plan a strategy for getting a better night's sleep. True or false? Which of the following can help you sleep? A, a fan, B, a TV, C, both. And the last question, over-the-counter medication can help with insomnia. True or false? Okay, so I'm going to read you the answers. The first question, if you wake up during the night and can't go back to sleep, you probably don't need that much shut-eye. That's false. There's usually a reason that you're tossing and turning. It could be that you're sick. It could be that you have hot flashes or heartburn. And it could be what you ate or drank shortly before going to bed. And it could also be anxiety, stress, or depression. So that question answer is false. A couple of glasses of wine will help you sleep better. That was false. While alcohol might make you drowsy, it won't help you get a good night's sleep. You're more likely to wake up when the effects wear off. And more than 1 or 2 drinks after dinner can definitely keep you from getting a good night's sleep. Antidepressants can keep you awake. The answer to that is true. A lot of over-the-counter medications get in the way of a good night's sleep. So some antidepressants, over-the-counter pain relievers, and decongestants can interrupt your sleep. So can heart and blood pressure medications like beta blockers and diuretics. What should you do if you're tossing and turning? And the choices were turn on the TV, stay in bed and try to sleep, or go to another room and read. And the answer is C, go to another room and read. So if you are in bed and you can't go to sleep for like 15 or 20 minutes, the worst thing to do is to lay there in bed. Also, the worst thing to do is to look at the time. I learned that years ago. I turn my clock away from me. So if I wake up to use the restroom, I have no idea what time it is. I mean, for all I know, it's 2 minutes before my alarm is going to go off. So get up and go into another room. You could read, you can take a warm bath, you can have a light snack of something like peanuts or a small piece of fruit, or do something quiet. And when you feel sleepy, then go to bed. What does sleep hygiene refer to? The choices were bathing or showering before bed, habits that can make you sleep better, clean sheets and bed linens. So the answer is habits that can make you sleep better. And we talked about a few of those. One of the ones I want to focus on here is avoiding caffeine at least 6 hours before you go to bed. So if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock, you do not want to have any caffeine after 3. And I would say that's at the very least. I read actually, I forgot the guy's name, who wrote this book recently, this popular book on sleep, and he said that caffeine stays in your body for over 12 hours. So if you drink coffee at noon, 25% of that caffeine is still in your bloodstream at midnight. So just keep that in mind. Finish dinner several hours, I'd say at least 3 hours before you go to bed. And don't drink too much water. We talked about that. Snoring or snorting may be a sign of A, narcolepsy, B, sleep apnea, or C, restless leg syndrome. The answer to that was B, sleep apnea. A sleep diary can help you plan a strategy for getting a good night's sleep. That's true. So I talked a little about that prior to the quiz. Understand when you're getting a good night's sleep, what habits did you do the previous day, and when you're getting a bad night's sleep, what might have been different. Which can help you sleep? A fan, a TV, or both? So the answer to that is a fan. In my room, because I live in a very noisy building right on Queens Boulevard in Forest Hills, Queens, and we have noisy neighbors, and sometimes our dogs, or actually one of my dogs, will bark when she wants to get up. So in my husband's and my room, we have two fans and two fairly loud white noise machines, but no screens. So we don't bring our cell phones into the bedroom. We don't have Kindles or Nooks or any of that in the bedroom. There is a desktop computer in the bedroom, but it's off, and no TV in the bedroom. Over-the-counter medications can help with insomnia. False. You may get relief for a few days, but they don't work in the long run. And many people who take over-the-counter sleeping pills feel tired the next day. It's because that's not real sleep. There are things that are not happening in your brain because the medications in sleeping pills prevent certain activities from happening in your brain. So I got 100 on that quiz. I was very excited about that. So we only have a few more moments. I did get a request to tell more stories about my mom. So I'm going to tell you one quick story that definitely relates to sleep. In 1978, I was 12, so I was in 7th grade, and The Exorcist 2 had just come out. So they released Exorcist 1 again. And my mom had seen Exorcist 1 when it first came out, which was, I think, in 1973. And I remember when she had seen Exorcist 1, when she came home, so I was very young, I think I was 7. She came home, she turned on every light in the house and left them on all night. And I remember I was like, wow, how scary could that movie have been? She then talked about it for years, about how scary it was afterwards, and then proceeded to decide that on Easter Sunday of 1978 would be a great time to take my sister and I to see The Exorcist. I proceeded to not sleep, I think, till that was in April, so I think I barely got more than 4 hours sleep. I'm not kidding you. Till maybe after that summer. That's how scared I was. We lived in a house that had radiators that made all kinds of crazy clanking noises, and I was petrified to go to sleep. But my mother, you know, she's quite the character. Lise, you got to see this movie. It's a great movie. Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. You're going to love this movie. I'm still traumatized. I have PTSD from seeing The Exorcist, as I'm sure many other people do. If you haven't seen it and anything supernatural scares you at all, please do not see that movie. Promise me you will not see that movie. Okay, so this is the end of episode 9 of Fierce Live Connection. We're going to have one more episode live tomorrow and then regroup with myself and figure out if we're going to continue doing this, because I'm not getting too much interest. I know that the airwaves are flooded right now with people doing things like this. So, but I might just do them and post them afterwards. So I like doing it. I feel like this is a good way to, or at least it's good to give you the information. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do something different. Anyway, stay healthy and stay fierce.